Everyone, how you doing? Welcome to Leadership Legacy Radio, where you inspire you to live your dreams, encourage you to take massive action, and be your authentic and genuine self. We focus on three pillars. That's empowering youth, equipping leaders, and enriching marriages so that you can go out and dominate your space.
If you're ready to dominate, you're listening to the right show. This is the Leadership Legacy Radio. Now let's go.
What's going on? What's going on? How are you guys doing? It's time to elevate your leadership intent. So what I wanted to talk to you guys about today was how you navigate change. Now, change is the one thing that remains constant. Change is the one thing that's inevitable for us all. And so what I wanted to do is I wanted to come on and to be completely honest and transparent with you. I wanted to come in here and I wanted to inspire you to understand how you can navigate change every day. So let's get right to it. The first thing that I want to encourage you to think about is every day we get up and you're faced with one of two tasks, right? To find your purpose or remain the same. To walk in your calling or stay where you were yesterday, where you were the day before, where you were last year. So something that I always try to keep in mind is what you feed grows. Where your focus goes, your energy flows. And I think one of the most powerful ways to think about this is most people say, I was listening to a podcast recently, and it was really, really powerful. I shared this with somebody recently, and I felt like it was the right way to kind of like hit this point home. So this young lady, she was an athlete. She swam and she ran track. And one of the things that she did is that she loved swimming, but she wasn't very good. So what ended up happening is she would go to swim meets and she would swim the 50 meters. So basically a lap down and a lap back. And every time she swam, she would lose. Now, what ended up happening is she was getting close to the end of the season and she felt like she was just done with it. So she was getting ready to leave and get to her swim meet. She went to her grandma's house, and as she was sitting there with her grandma, she said, I'm done. I don't want to go. I don't want to be in this process. I don't want to do it anymore. And so what ended up happening is the young lady is complaining to her grandma, and her grandma said, come here. You come from a long family of winners. We do not quit. And I want to share something with you, and I want you to take it with you. And she shared the quote that winners never quit. Quitters never win. And so she told the girl that, and she shared a story about, the heritage and the lineage of the family. And so the young lady says, okay, grandma, I'll go to the track meet. And so as she goes to not the track meet, but the swim meet, as she goes to the swim meet, she realizes that her whole family's there. And she goes, there's nothing worse than losing in front of your family, having an audience to lose in front of. So as she sits there, she's thinking, okay, this is not going to be good. So she gets up to the line, and the line judge comes over and he goes, unfortunately, you missed your meet. And she goes, oh, wow, that's good. I don't have to swim. So her coach says, no, I want her to race with the other girls. So she gets put with the other girls. And as she goes to swim, the coach says, you need the practice anyway. So she goes, coach, I'm already good at losing. I don't need practice at losing. And so he says, just go do the meet. So every time she had raced in the past, she was always on the outside lanes. Now, if you know anything about swimming, if you know anything about track, the fastest swimmer, the fastest runner is always in the middle lane. So coincidentally, she got put in the middle lane. She didn't pay attention to it. She just got put in the middle lane. So she gets ready to swim. And as she's on the starting block, the line judge says, on your marks, get ready, set. And she starts saying in her head, winners never quit. Quitters never win. Go. She jumps in the water and she's repeating that the entire time. She's swimming. She's saying that, quitters never quit, never win, winners never quit. As she gets to the halfway point, when she goes to touch the wall and make her turn, she looks to her left and to her right like she normally does, and she sees one girl with her, and she goes, "Not today." Normally, she's so far behind that she doesn't see anybody. So today, she felt like she was in line with one of the last swimmers. So she's swimming. She's repeating it. Winners never quit. Quitters never win. So as she gets to the wall and she touches the wall, she looks up. Her coach is going crazy, and she's like, "You got to be kidding me! I was so slow that all the swimmers got out of the water already." And as she looks up, she was like, "Coach, was I supposed to do one more lap?" And he goes, "No, you won." And she looks up and she's like, "I won." And she was surprised. And what ended up happening is, as she looks up to the coach, he said, "What did you do different today?" And she said, "Well, I went to my grandma's and, we had a talk." And he was like, "And what else? And what else?" And, throughout the whole race, I just said, winners never quit and quitters never win. And he was like, "What do you normally say?" "Don't be last. Don't be last." So what goes to show you is what we think in our mind is what we become. So you have to change your perspective as to what you are doing. So when change comes, how do you adjust? Every day you have a choice. You can do something new, or you can do something that you've always done. And the challenge is, how do you do something new and become good at it? One of the things that we teach our boys is we want them to try sports. We want them to try, a variety of sports. And we do that because we wanted them to find something that they were gifted in. And they normally gravitated towards basketball. But if you never try nothing new, you'll never learn what you're good at. Now, she ended up setting the record for that swim meet, and she started getting a lot of publicity for that. But what changed was what she told herself every day. So what I'm asking you is, what story are you telling yourself? If you get up every day and find your purpose, find your way, life gets better. The discovery part, when you discover your purpose, everything becomes easier. Everything becomes fulfilling because you're walking in what you've been called to do. I encourage you to find your gift and identify what you do better than anybody else. Your thing may be inspiring people. It may be encouraging others. It may be just being there as a support for someone. It could be editing. It could be writing. It could be, drawing. It could be design. Whatever it is, find what you're good at. Find where your purpose meets your passion, so that you can help people and serve them well. Another thing that I recommend is that you keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate the process. Oftentimes, people overcomplicate and overthink things. I don't want you to fall into the trap of overcomplicating things. Lots of people make it harder than it needs to be by trying to do what they see others do. Stop getting distracted. The world doesn't need a carbon copy of someone else. The world doesn't need you emulating someone else. Find what you like about what they do. Make it your own. There's no such thing as a brand new idea. What happens is we find things, we modify them, and we make them better. Yesterday, I was having a conversation with my son about entrepreneurship. And one of the things that I think about is the simplicity in what I was actually trying to show him. He loves to eat hot food. And so I was explaining to him that it doesn't need to be hard. I told him that somebody had this genius idea of taking crushed red peppers and grinding them smaller and calling them cayenne pepper. So they took them from being flakes to being almost like salt. Simple, right? Make it simple. How can you make things better? How can you be innovative? Don't overcomplicate it. When you are looking for your purpose, You may get lost along the way, but the journey, the process that you go through, that's the beauty. It's what you become in the process of where you are going. When you overcomplicate things, it clouds your judgment. It makes you second guess yourself. It makes you question your journey. It makes you question the steps that you're taking. You need to just focus on where you want to go. Again, where does your passion meet your purpose? The things that you do daily become your habits and your rituals. The question is going to be, how are they serving you? Do you have good habits or do you have bad habits? Right? So if we go back to the story of the swimmer, her habits prior to that last race were self-defeating habits. Don't come in last, don't come in last, don't come in last. And what happened? She came in last. The moment she shifted her perspective, the moment she shifted her thought patterns, and she said, winners never quit. Quitters never win. She focused on not quitting, not giving up, and living her full potential. She was present in the present. She focused on being her absolute best in that moment. When you find your gift, my question, my challenge to you is, are you going to hone it or are you going to be complacent? Don't get stuck. Most people, when they find their gift, they say, you know what? It's easy. I'm here. I'm going to take shortcuts every day. I'm going to just do the same thing and keep it simple. I'm not going to change anything. But if you truly want to get to that next level, watch people that perform at a high level. Watch your Venus Williams, watch your Serena Williams, watch your, Rafael Nadal, watch your all of these athletes, top athletes. Watch people like Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, watch film on them and see what they did. Watch people right now in their prime like LeBron James. They did certain things well and then they continued to reinvent themselves and get better. They could slash, now they can shoot. They could shoot, now they can shoot a three-pointer. They can do post-ups. What are you doing to get better every day? Hone your skills. Develop your craft. Get good at one thing. Get good at the thing that you've been called to do. Walk in your purpose. Serve the world. Go out and crush it. And do what you've been called to do. Go out and dominate your space.